Okay, welcome to Exeter in snowiest winter since we've been here. And there is our mailbox, sort of embedded in the snowbank of the road. Figured I'd start down at the road and make the walk up. Doesn't look so bad along the driveway. What, 2.5, maybe 2 to 3 foot in different areas of snowbanks, but of course we had a plow up here. You can't really tell that it's about 8 feet before the ground starts to go up on the side. It just kind of drifted over. Top of the driveway, we see where fortunately the snow guy could push most of the snow down over the embankment. So it's, probably only about 5 feet there. Right side, not so much. You can sort of see a little bit of a shelf of snow where the actual retaining wall is. So all of that is all the snow that they push in to get it out of the driveway and sort of head up the front steps. Still got quite a bit of snow on the roof. Managed to roof rake part of it, but with this roof design I'm not too worried. I just wanted to get some of it off the edges. Now we continue around here and start to see all the shoveling that we had to do, since didn't think I'd need a snowblower here with all the steps and everything. Wouldn't do much good, right? Except for I left the wood pile to be out in the back of the yard this year. So now here we go, looking up towards the deck. Of course, yeah, that's the corner of a window for the garage up there behind the snow. Can't really get too much of that anymore. Wouldn't know that the hose is still back there in the corner too. Oh well. But we got some pretty good snow mounds here. So you can see from the upper area of the yard, the deck is probably about 4 feet off the ground, so it makes for some fun snow piles behind the deck that probably go up to about 6.5 feet from that level. Back down here, all of this shoveled out. Probably get to about 5.5, 6 feet in the higher sections here. Actual compacted snow, now that it's been a few weeks since or a couple weeks since the bigger storms, is probably down to about 2.5, 3 feet in most places. So that's theoretically not too bad, but all of this had to be shoveled. And of course back there, and the main reason being that I wanted to use a wheelbarrow to bring the wood in, so needed to make something wide enough that I could get the wheelbarrow up the embankment, go back to the wood pile, and then be able to bring it over next to the deck so I could bring it up where we bring the wood in. So now we pan back around here. On the left we got our garden area with a 4-foot fence that you can't see too much of. Somewhere under there you can sort of see the mounds. They're about 15-inch high boxes that probably have only about 18 inches of snow on them right now, because I think there's a little bit of warmth from the boxes that you get a little more snow melt there than you actually do in other spots. But we just continue down our nice wide wheelbarrow path here, shoveled by hand, and out to what's left of the wood pile where that's shoveled out. You can see where there used to be double stacked rows, a lot wider than I've got wood stacked now, but I'm down to kind of the last single stack on about, it's about, half of what the row used to be. Got a little bit of wood stuck under the snow that you can't see next to the far buried tarp, but I had gotten most of that. But here's what we're back to for the winter. There's the garden again. Of course, from this side the fence is completely buried, which is going to make it interesting in about a week, because in order to get the garden to have the snow melt and thawed in time at the end of March to be planting peas, I think what I'm going to have to do in a week is actually shovel this out over to the fence, where fortunately I took away the gate fence section for the winter, so I can just shovel straight through, shovel off the boxes, and then cover them with a solar cover probably next weekend, and get the soil starting to heat up while there'll still be 2-3 feet of snow piled up all around the garden. So you can see the house from this side now. Got a lot of the snow off the sunroom roof. Really wanted to get that. That's the one section that is a more conventional construction style that I wasn't sure if the weight bearing would be as good. The main part of the house with the hexagonal shape, it could bear a lot of weight, so that's why I wasn't worried about not getting the snow I couldn't reach. So now we'll just continue on down the path here and go up on the deck, which is pretty much frozen solid now. I can't scrape it down anymore. I'd have to put a lot of salt down, which I don't really want to bother to do on the wood. it works fine to walk on it as it is. See, on this end, I kind of just pushed the snow off the deck. What used to be steps is now just a snow pile, like the snow piles off the front of the deck. Everything I just shovel off. Be worse, but in the early storms, I actually push snow underneath the deck all the way around, but there's no way to do that anymore because it's all the way up to the deck underneath where I did that already. Now here we see on the back side, you can sort of tell at one point during the heavier storms I had shoveled the path all the way out around in order to shovel out near the windows. Did not manage to do that the last couple of storms, and I don't know that I'm going to bother at this point. I think it's down to the window sills, so I'm not too worried about melting getting in. But you know, definitely a lot of snow built up there. Still a lot of snow up on the roof there where I wasn't able to get to that. But all in all, I think we're in pretty good shape going into some snow and then ice and potentially rain on top of this on Sunday, which was the main reason for trying to get as much snow off the top as I could. Alright, so that's our snow fortress for this year. Kind of an unusual winter. Oh, you can sort of see back there where the compost piles are, or sort of see. There's actually a... So, it turns out, with the forecast we've got, I needed to shovel that back part near the downstairs windows after all. This is taken from inside because it's now snowing again. Yahoo! But that's supposed to turn into ice and rain, and that's the real issue with water potentially getting into the foundations if there isn't some way for it to drain away. And also, it allowed me to rake off part of the roof from the back with the roof rake. And here's the part of the path I did in front. Sort of can make it out. It's about 2.5 to 3 feet of snow there. And there's the well cap, which is about 26 inches high, and it's about 6 inches below the top of the snow there. Unfortunately, all of this was really hard packed from all the storms, because we really had a lot more snow than that. But it is now done, and I have raked the roof, so we are ready for the next storm.